please start by introducing yourself and who are you?
My name's Brion Curran. I'm from Centerville, Minnesota, which is in Senate District 36, but I currently live in Vadnais Heights, and so I will be representing 36B in the House, which includes Vadnais Heights, White Bear Lake, Gem Lake, Birchwood Village, and the northern parts of White Bear Township.
And what kind of district is it? What's the community like?
Our community it's a bit of a mix. So we are right off the freeway. It's nice and close to the cities, but it doesn't strike me as a typical suburb. We do have a bit of a rural feel to our suburbs, which I think our community really enjoys and takes pride in. We've got a lot of nice green spaces, a lot of areas where it truly does feel Minnesotan in the sense of being green and full of lakes and all of that. So nice, easy access to where we need to get to go in the city, but we also have a whole lot of Minnesota to enjoy.
And what motivated you to run for the House?
I never in my life thought I would be in politics. And, earlier this year, never thought that I would be sitting in this chair today. But what has been a big part of my life is service. And I come from a family that just believes in serving other people, and I went to school for law enforcement and became a deputy years ago. That ended up, I didn't pursue that path any further, and I've been looking for a way to serve the public since my public safety career ended, and this just seemed like a way that I could bring some unique experiences that I have, my work in law enforcement and my work in disability services from 20 years, that I could bring some of those service elements to legislature to serve Minnesotans in a different way.
Yeah, and with that background, it's a pretty good background for this role, I would think, coming
Yes.
into the House. So how are you going to use that? How are you going to, how can you apply that to being a legislator?
Yeah, I think what's really nice and what's been beneficial for my experience is that I have a wide array of experiences with folks from all different walks of life and from all different, parts of their life too, and different scenarios that they've gone through. So I've known a whole lot of folks who use the disability services that we have here in Minnesota. The last 20 years I've been in nonprofit disability services, so I know what that funding looks like. I know kind of those deep level details of how Minnesota is unique and how we fund disability services. So I take that very seriously as a future legislator, that it will be on our shoulders to care for other people, and we're making decisions that will that do have real effects in people's lives, and I take that to heart and I take that seriously, and I feel that as a privilege. And at the same time, I've worked in law enforcement, and so I've seen what folks have gone through on some of their worst days as well. And so I think that just kind of brings some unique perspective when we're talking about policy for people.
Yeah, during your campaign, out meeting people, talking to people, what were their concerns? What were the issues that they wanted to see worked on, or what they needed help with? What did you hear from them?
Yeah, I heard a lot about how divisive politics have been, especially over the last few years or so. And I think a lot of people took notice that we have a lot of common ground to work on. And I think there was a lot of frustration from how the last session ended, where people thought there was room to get things done, and they would have liked to have seen more. And so when we're talking about those things, it's things like ending tax or cutting taxes on Social Security. Those are universal things that our members across Minnesota believe in. And so I think those type of issues, what can we do to help people with inflation and high prices, right? That's a huge thing across our entire state, across our country. So I feel like we're obligated to take care of that and do something about that. And at the same time, public safety, of course, it's a passion of mine. It's one reason I'm here. But folks are, they want to make sure that our police are supported, and they also want to make sure that they're safe in their homes and their communities, and that we have good, well-trained officers who are held accountable on the job too. And I don't think that's so much to ask. I think we can do that.